What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So today I want to run you through another eFlip tutorial because I think right now is probably the best time to purchase books. A, because it's the end of Q4, so you're obviously benefiting off that high sales velocity, and B, because we're approaching textbook season, right? So in textbook season, which comes directly after Q4, you're going to see a lot more high sales velocity for textbooks as well as higher prices in textbooks. So if you stock up on inventory right now for cheap, you can stock up on great inventory, which then you can flip super fast in textbook season for a higher profit margin, okay? So, and obviously textbook season, I forget what it exactly is, but you're gonna see high sales velocity for Q4 up until like mid-January, right? Even though the beginning of January isn't Q4, it still tends to be like higher sales velocity as well. And then it kind of drops off, but that's when books pick up, so it's a great time for you to get into books as well, right? And textbook season, I think, is like the end, it's like mid to end of January, I think, to like the end of February or early March. I have to check up on that, but I know it's that rough window. So right now is the best time to purchase textbooks where you can basically sit on, for a little bit or ship them into FBA and kind of get the ball rolling, so you'll make that money back tenfold in January and February. So here we are on eFlip. This is a software that I continue to use to find book outliers. I love it. I highly recommend it to all of you. You can get a 21-day free trial. I don't have an affiliate link, but it's highly worth it. And it doesn't cost you anything to try it out. Like I said, you can sign up for a 21 day, right? Not 7 days, 21-day free trial. I sound like I'm pitching it like I'm an affiliate, but I am not, okay? So it's just a great software that you can utilize to make money with online arbitrage and flipping books on Amazon. So the first thing I like to do is I'll go up here and I'll literally raise everything up and just kind of draw everything out to see if there's any really cheap books that I can find and make money off of for free. So right here, you got one for a cent, one for 10 cents. I literally bought this. As you can see, it's gray already. And I bought this one, and it looks like I've checked out all of these. So let's check out this new one right here. So I'm gonna click this, and it's going to take me into here, which it looks like somebody has already purchased this. Otherwise, it would be right here for a cent. So that is a bad example. So right here, cent, parallel at the pyramids. Here you go, right here. You have one for a cent right here, used, very good. Can you make money off of this? Well, you can, because the used buy box price right here is $9.84, okay? So $9.84 is the used buy box price. You're going to buy it for a cent. I don't really feel like I need to stress the AMZ Scout calculator, but let's just show you what your profit potential is if you match the buy box price, $9.84. Whoa, $9.84. You're going to make $4.06, and that's literally risk-free because you're spending a cent. So that's just what I like to do. I'm going to add that to my cart. I could have sworn I bought this one already, but maybe I didn't. I'm going to add that to my cart. I'm going to buy it as soon as this video is done. Great way to make money, literally zero risk. eFlip's going to show you all those. So let me show you one more right here, 10 cents. And it's also important to check the sales rank too, so that's something I should do. But if the sales rank is like under $1 million and you're getting it for a cent, eventually it's going to sell, so it's a good and there's a good profit margin, good idea to buy it, right? So out of sight here, 10 cents, used good. What is the buy box price for it, right? Because I don't care about like the lowest price. I want to see if it's going to sell. So the buy use price is $6.11. So if we buy this for 10 cents and we ship it into Amazon and we sell it for $6.11 and match the buy box price, well, we're going to lose a cent, right? So that's accounting for fees, right? And that doesn't even count with our shipping cost into Amazon. So obviously you can merchant fill this if you wanted to do too, but you're still going to lose a cent, so it's not really worth it. Although I'm definitely interested in getting maximum approval and getting the sale, so I'm willing to lose a cent. Heck, I'm willing to lose a couple bucks just for the sale because it's going to increase my metrics and allow me to get ungated in other categories in the future, okay? It's a little bit beyond the scope of this particular video, but something that you might want to keep in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this one to my cart as well, and I'm going to buy that as soon as this video is done. So let me show you an example of one more really fast, 16 cents, and we'll see what this buy box price is. So 16 cents, it's used acceptable. And what is the buy box price of this one? 16 cents. So this is not a good product to buy unless you're willing to lose, a couple bucks on it to ship it in and the fees. So I'm going to hold off on this one because you can usually find a couple of these if you log on early on in the morning or, a couple times a day, and just literally pull all of them out, like the levers out, and see if there's any cheap books for you to buy. Okay, so now I want to show you I was literally doing this morning because I hop on. I don't do this every morning, but I usually do it a couple times a week. What I usually like to do is I'll just have like Sunday is like my book sourcing day. So I'll literally sit in front of the couch. I'll watch Red Zone. I'll pop Red Zone on. And while I'm watching Red Zone and my fantasy team get absolutely destroyed because they've been terrible this year, I'm literally sourcing books, and I usually end up buying like 10 to 30 books on any given Sunday. And then I ship them into FBA and I just collect the profit, right? eFlip feeds all those to me. And what I do is I kind of manage these levers here. I always kind of put different inputs into the levers so I'm getting looks of different books. So the key here, I'm going to run over, I've done countless tutorials before on this channel. If you want to check out other tutorials and my explanation of how I actually sort through this more in depth and set the levers, I'll drop that playlist down in the description. I'll also drop that playlist up in the right hand corner right now as a card. But basically, to go through it fast, max publish date, you want to kind of drop this lever up a little bit because you want it to be more relevant in recent books. You also, same thing goes with the max trade-in value. You want this lever up a little bit because if there's still a trade-in value and the book is recent and relevant, then that means that students are still going to use it and it's still being taught in certain courses, so they're going to continue to buy it for those courses, right? If you don't have a max trade-in value or a minimum trade-in value set right here or a minimum publish date, you might get a book that looks like a great margin, but no student is going to buy it next semester because it's outdated, right? Does that make sense? That's not always the case, but it's just a good kind of safety net to have. That's why I always recommend setting these. And what I personally like to do is I'll either go one way or the other, right? So I'll either set them really, really broad and slowly hone in and make them more specific with the levers, or I'll set them really specific and then kind of, if I'm only getting a couple books, then I'll slowly kind of branch them out and get more broad so I'm getting more books. Both of those work. It just depends on what works for you. Try and test it out. Just like anything, the more you source and the more you use this software, the better you will get with it. So max rank on Amazon, anything under $1 million is going to sell, although closer to $1 million, it's going to sell slower. The lower that you get, obviously, the faster it's going to flip. So in my experience, I usually source books under 500,000. The closer to 500,000 it gets, obviously the slower, like we talked about with $1 million. But if the closer to 500,000 for me, the margin better be great because I'm probably going to be sitting on that book for a couple weeks to a month maybe, right? So, and obviously that we're talking about right now, which is not textbook season, those book sales velocity will increase tenfold in textbook season, and the max ranks will drop significantly, which is why right now is a great time to buy textbooks. But I don't want to get into the explanation of that too in depth. So my general rule of thumb is I usually like to buy things under 250,000, but if it's above 250,000, above 250,000 and below 500,000 bestseller rank, but the margin is really, really good, I'll just buy it anyway and wait on it because I don't mind waiting on it if my money is going to give me that return on investment in a month or so, right? It's not a big deal to me, but it depends on how much money you're playing with and how comfortable you are waiting for your return, right? So I always like to set these different. Sometimes I'll set them below 250. Sometimes I'll set them at like 199. Sometimes I'll set them at like 80,000. Like I said, I always put different things in them. This morning I put 100,000 in or 170,000 in. I usually change these max and minimum offers, but today I didn't change them. For max minimum trade-in value, I put $10. Didn't change the Amazon price. I'll usually match this with the max new price right here, and the minimum new price I usually match this with the minimum new price. So the minimum new price I put 30, this changes as well, and the minimum used price I put 25 cents, this changes for me as well. Like I said, if you're looking for an in-depth reason on why I kind of do it this way and why I switch them up and how I approach them, check out the other playlists in this tutorial. I've covered this about 4 times now. So what I like to do is I'll go down and I'll sort through these, like I said, every single Sunday, so I'm literally just rolling through. But I'll check them all, don't get me wrong, because there's no way these numbers right here can give you an indication of what can be successful, but there's no way to really know unless you click them because sometimes things change. Sometimes, the numbers aren't the same as they are right here listed in the software. But the easiest way, if you're strapped on time and you only have a little bit of time, is the easiest way to do it is to look through for discrepancies in new and used. In my experience, if there's a higher discrepancy between the new and the used, it tends to be better potential to be a good book. So right off the bat, the two that I noticed the most right here are this 96.91 to 35 and this 83.62 to 34.60. Now, even if you do go ahead and click these and you check them out and you're thinking, okay, well, I don't want to, waste my time checking them again in the future, you don't have to worry because they'll go gray and they will no longer be green in lettering. And that's eFlip's way of telling you that you've already looked into this book. So that's why another reason I love this software. One of the ones that I just found that was really good is, and I'm going to run through some examples here that I haven't sorted through right here. with eFlip here in a second. So we'll check these two, and then maybe we'll check a few others. Is this immune system book? So when you click the link right here, it's going to take you to the used ones right here. So the cheapest used right here is $84.86. So if we click this right here and we open it up, it's going to take us to the buy box new and the buy box used. The cheapest is $84.86, which it looks like is the buy box. So there's no opportunity there to buy this used and send it into FBA to resell it as used. There's two main ways to make money with eFlip, like I've talked about before. You either buy it used from a merchant fulfilled seller, right? And then who's selling it cheaper, and then ship it into FBA and sell it higher to match the buy box price and make a margin that way. I do that a lot as well. Or you can go after the new buy box. So you're going after used buy box with a merchant fulfilled used buyer, right? Or you're going after the new buy box and sourcing it with the bookfinder, which if you click this little thing and you go down to bookfinder, it's going to pull up software that's going to show you other places where you can buy this used online as well as new. Now you'll notice that there are some good used deals over here every once in a while, which you can then check out on the buy box right here. So right here is the perfect example, right? This is used and it's selling $84.86. So this is telling you that this is Amazon Canada, and you want to make sure that it's the same version. So that is a little sketchy right there. I'm going to tell you why in a second. So it's selling for $40.93, so that's probably a good profit margin. If we spend 40, we'll say round it up to 41. We'll say it costs us $1 to ship it into FBA because I ship it in with a bunch of other stuff, and you match the buy box price at $84.86. Then, $84.86, not $8.86. Then you're going to make $22.65 for buying this book and shipping it into FBA. So it's a great margin. Now, how fast is it going to sell, though? Is it worth it? Oh, okay, it's $95,000 in books. So Jungle Scout's going to tell me that it's selling 8 roughly a day and 233 sales a month. So this is a great opportunity to buy this book. You also want to make sure that you can sell it. So you're going to take the ASIN into Amazon. Now I already know that I can sell this because I requested approval, but I was gated to sell this originally. So make sure that you check every single book that you're going. Most books, I was always under the impression that every book was ungated and books was just an ungated category, and that is true for 99.9% of books in my experience, although some of the ones that are super low bestseller rank are gated, so make sure that you can sell it. If you can't sell it, then either click request approval, and if your metrics are good, you'll get approved, or just avoid it and go after something else. There's a number of other books, okay? So the key here with these, when you're buying either new or used right here, is you have to make sure that it's not an international edition, and you have to make sure that it isn't a teacher edition or an instructor edition, right? It has to be the same exact edition that matches the buy box, that matches the detail page. So this is the 4th edition, the student edition, right? And if you look here, this says this is brand new international edition. So this is not something that I'm interested in, right? This doesn't say that it's the international edition, but I would obviously check that out. So make sure when you're sourcing, whether it's new or used from Bookfinder, that it is the same exact edition and it is not an international edition or an instructor edition, okay? So this one looks pretty solid, $80 right here. I don't think it's international or an instructor edition, but let's pull it up on eBay. Usually I would read the product information and make sure, but look right here, you say 4th edition. So 4th edition, so it is the right edition. So if I buy this for $80 and I ship it in because it's new, right? Look, it's new books and used books on this side. So this is new from eBay. Brand, where is it? This one says, oh, this is revised. So this is brand new, right? Yeah, brand new. Okay, brand new. So $80, and I'm probably going to buy this when I hop off this. So if I ship this in for $80, and I might end up rounding it up with shipping, so we'll just say 81, and it's going to cost me $1 to ship into FBA because I always ship other things in with it at once, and I match the buy box price at $137.50. Then I'm going to make $27.40 for buying this from eBay, shipping it into FBA, matching the buy box price, and then selling it for $137.50, right? So this is a great book. I'm probably going to buy this after this video, but let's check some other ones really fast to show you different examples. So like I said, this isn't always the case, but the best indicators of books that might be successful when you're searching are the discrepancies between new and used. So let's check this one, and we'll check this one really fast and see. So what I always like to do is I click on this link right here, and it's going to take me to the used ones, which looks like the cheapest used price right here is used very good condition for $33.69 with about $2 tax. So I'm going to round this up and say 34, and then add $2 onto it, and we'll say it's going to cost me $36 for this used book. So what is the used buy box? Is there an opportunity? It cost me $36 right here, right? And boom, that's a perfect example of an opportunity right here. The used buy box is used good. Keep in mind, this one's used very good. This is a perfect example of a merchant fulfiller right here selling this cheap books, run textbooks. I can buy it from them for 36 bucks, ship it into Amazon, and sell it for $60.79 and make the markup of, let's say, 36 bucks. It cost me $1 to ship it in. I'm going to match the buy box price at $60.79. So what am I going to make? I'm going to make $7.58 for buying this, shipping it into FBA, and making the markup. Okay, this is also another example of a book that I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy this here in a second, but let's check actually if there's a good opportunity to buy it new. So the new buy box is $83.62. So we're going to come back and we're going to go to the bookfinder for this, and we're going to see if there's an opportunity to buy this new as well for a margin 2. So $83.62. Still searching. And this looks like $65.19 probably with fees isn't going to be worth it, because even if it was profitable, you don't want to spend 65 bucks to make like $5. It doesn't really make that much sense. You could if you want to, but let's just run the numbers here and see. So this is $65.19. So it's going to be $65.19. It's going to cost us $1 to ship it into FBA. If we match the buy box price at $83.62 because it's new, you're going to end up losing $2.20. Not worth it at all. So that is a bad book to buy new, but I'm definitely going to buy this used, so I'll throw that over there because I'm going to buy this afterwards. So we're going to check this one, and we're going to click that link, and it's going to take us to the used versions of the book right here, okay? So then we again notice that this is about $31.32. I always like to round up to be conservative, right? So we'll add the 12 cents to here, and we'll round up. We'll say 32 bucks. We'll add the 2 cents tax, so that's 34, and we're going to add $4, so that ends up being $38 for this used acceptable book, merchant fulfilled, right? So about 34 bucks is the cheapest used price, and it's selling for $51.28 is the used buy box price. So 30, I think it's 38 bucks. I think I said, yeah. So 38, $1 to ship it in. We're going to match the buy box price at $51.28, and it's probably going to tell us that it's not profitable, and we are going to lose $3.68. So this is not a good opportunity to buy this book used, but maybe it's a good opportunity to buy it new. So the new buy box price is $92.92. If we come back and we click the bookfinder, let's see what the opportunities to buy this on bookfinder are as well. So $63.69 from eBay. Remember, if this was a good deal, I'd need to make sure that this is not the international edition or the instructor edition. And sometimes you'll notice that like when you sign on, there's like one for like 10 bucks here, or like 20 bucks, and it's selling for like $200. I've found great deals like that before that are the same edition. Don't get me wrong. I find them all the time. Although it does tend to seem like if it's too good to be true, it probably is either the international or the instructor edition. So just read everything and make sure that it is not if you're going to buy it, okay? So $63.99, probably not a good profit margin, but let's check. We'll round it up to 64. Costs us $1 to ship it in. If we match the buy box price at $92.92, we're going to make $5.71. So while that is profitable, I'm probably not going to go after that because there's so many other better margins out there where you're spending less. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind spending $64, but if I'm going to spend $64, I want to make like at least 20 bucks, right? I want to make like 60 bucks potentially. I don't want to make 5 bucks. So this is profitable. There's nothing wrong with buying this for $64 and then shipping it into FBA and matching the buy box and making $5.71. It's still a profitable buy. Although I want a better return on my investment, so I'm probably not going to do that. Now, 2 other things that I didn't touch on because I touch on them countless times in the other tutorials are you want to make sure that A, you can sell it, and B, that there's a good bestseller rank. And that's one of the benefits of these levers is it's only going to spit out things that are good bestseller ranks for you. So obviously if I run the Jungle Scout numbers here, it's going to tell me that it's selling fairly well. 7 a day, 198 monthly sales, and 170,000 in books, right? But can we sell it? We need to know. So you want to take the ISBN, take it into Seller Central, and see if you can sell the book if it is a good buy. So I'm not going to waste your time and continue to sort through these. You guys can do that on your own time, but just remember everything I said. Use this as a checklist and make sure you can sell it, right? So you can sell it. There's a good profit margin. You can check the new buy box or the used buy box to do that. Make sure that it's not an international edition and make sure that it's not an instructor edition as well. But other than that, happy sourcing. There's a lot of great books to go out there and buy. And right now is literally one of the best times to go out and do so. So if you appreciate the value in today's video, give it a thumbs up. I genuinely appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.